Hello, Soul Sync. It's me, Jason Paul. Now, I want to try a new experiment which is based on the back of trance mediumship, because recently I've seen a number of really beautiful bits of trance mediumship done, and it's literally like you have the spirit sitting in the room with you, which you do, of course you do. It's just your human eyes can't see it. And if trance mediumship is done well, the facial expressions you can see, the accents they can talk in, like when I see Eileen Davis bring through Una, I believe it is, she talks like a South Carolinian kind of woman in my mind, and it's just so magical. And even Eileen said to me a little while ago, she said that why is it trance mediumship tends to move people so much and it tends to touch the hearts of everyone? And I think part of that is because the spirit uses our collective consciousness, all of our experiences, to make sure that it touches sort of our hearts all in different ways. So we all take different things from it, but it really resonates. But the thing with trance mediumship is it doesn't really exist in the normal world. It's sort of just something reserved for mediums, and I understand why, because there's a real medium going into that deep trance state even, is a very vulnerable thing. And I thought, well, it's such a shame we can't bring the wisdom of the spirit through to people in the real world, because what they want to do is they want to help us on our journey. So this is a new concept. Niko, the medium, who is a trance medium, he brings through a collective of spirits known as Noah. He's going to come onto the show once a month to let spirit basically, he's going to act as the channel, and Theo is going to come through and answer your questions. So if you've got questions you'd like to submit in particular, I'd advise you just to go into the show notes. My email address is there. Email your questions in and I'll put it to Theo, the collective, the spirit world, and we'll see what their response is. So that's the new concept. Here's the first episode. Get your questions in and I'll see you next month.
Greetings to you, my dear one.
Hello and welcome.
Truly is an honor and a privilege, my dear, to offer you our gratitude for providing us this opportunity to be heard through your platform, my dear.
Well, thank you for coming on. May I ask who I'm talking to?
Indeed, my dear. Identity is still a powerful tool in your realm, is it not, my dear?
Well, it is. Well, yes, it is.
Essence, my dear, does not require identity. It is not names that are important, my dear. It is resonance, energetic signatures, if you will, to appease yourself as well as those who are listening, my dear. And we are of the angelic realm. We are three, and come forth as one collective name, by which you will know as Noah, my dear.
Well, it's lovely to have your presence on here. Thank you, Noah.
And are you, my dear? And if I may add, you're underestimating your value, your service to essence, by providing a truthful platform where not only our words and messages and guidance was provided, but yours as well, for your essence, my dear. This is indeed admirable, and you truly deserve our respect and honor, my dear.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. Well, obviously, this is a new, very exciting monthly segment where we're going to have you on every month, the spirit world on every month. So I'm very keen to hear what you would like to say to us.
We are very grateful for this opportunity once more, my dear. Understand, my dear one. We are all consciousness. We are all essence. It is very much so misinterpreted in your realm when one truly believes that human identity is what identifies them, my dear. And this is what creates misinterpretation, misrepresentation. So many in your realm believe in separation. So many attempt to connect, if you will, to spirit, to their human identity, their human intellect, that fail to remember each one's intellect is different based on their own conditioning, their own life experiences, their own belief values. But the focal point is their identity, the title, the roles they play within relationships. This is merely occurring in order for an essence to truly inhabit the human experience, to acquire valuable lessons, to live through, if you will, painful moments, so its highest expression can also feel that physical pain in order to learn and grow and evolve. But at no point does the human identity define you, which is why we stated the importance of identity at the beginning of our conversation, Megan.
That's very interesting. I'm sorry, carry on.
Your consciousness, your essence, the ability for the human to feel emotions, sensations, your intuition within the awareness in the mind. This is all because you are essence. This reflects your essence. The human intellect does not possess the ability to form emotions. It merely labels it, my dear. The breath was not born into the form. When it enters your realm, the breath appeared after, the essence anchoring itself into the form. This is not common teachings, if you will, in your realm. But once more, the teachings that have been passed generation to generation were born of the same conditioned mind of the human identities. So how can they be accurate, my dear?
It's very interesting. Obviously, we're at the start of a year now. I appreciate in your world there is no linear time. For us, there is. A lot of people are turning their attention to their dreams and desires of 2026. What would you say to them in order to advise, in order for people to be able to live the life that they're trying to live?
Once more, my dear, it is their perception of an ideal journey. It is their perception of what their future contains and their life's purpose, if you will. This perception, once more, is created through the human identity. If each one in your realm listened in the silence, remember their own essence, my dear, they will each recognize that they possess the ability to not only connect to their own essence, to connect to the loved ones they lost in their realm, to connect to their highest essence. It is through the remembrance of essence, my dear, that one truly remembers their soul's purpose within human incarnation. And when this occurs, it alleviates discomfort, confusion, pain. Grief is even viewed through a new lens. Relationships are honored through another lens, each reflecting the lens of your highest essence. Rather than the same lens, each one is viewing through the human identity. So if each one began with one step of remembrance, within your linear calendar year, much would have unfolded. The human journey, less stressful, much more fulfilling, purpose once more identified, remembering their essence, my dear, and then projecting their essence that love of their essence through their physical form to those in your realm. This is why there is a vast conscious awakening, if you will, across humanity at this time. This is why each of you are incarnated at this time, to be the catalysts for what is to come. Is that clear, my dear?
It is. I guess we are in somewhat scary times at the moment. What do you make of all of this at the current time of what's going on in the world?
Once more, perception, born of the human identity, which causes fear. But understand, my dear, recognize the generations before you. Each one possessed the exact same fear of change. And now notice how humanity has drastically improved and changed over the years, over the centuries. You are experiencing what they experienced, fear of uncertainty of what is to come. And yet change is inevitable, my dear. Fear only resides in your realm. Fear only exists within the human identity. This is not your true identity. When one recalls their identity as essence, there is no fear, my dear. There is merely clarity of purpose. How can an essence fear? Essence is everywhere, my dear. It is not the belief of separation, that your essence descended from the heavens into the physical reality and returns once the physical form ceases. This is incomplete, my dear. If essence is eternal, there is no fear. If love is eternal, love should always be projected into your realm. And also recognize each emotion which does not resonate with your essence is born of your realm. But each one possesses the underlining of love. When one experiences heartbreak, it is because they first loved. When one experiences grief of loss, it is because they once loved. The emotions, the experiences are intentionally created in your realm. Each one an underlining of love. With this, focuses on the journey being of the essence, not of the human identity. Recognize, my dear, if you remove love, if you remove emotion, what physical journey would remain?
Well, it'd be a very boring one, I think, if you removed emotion and love. I can't think what it would be like in that situation.
So that should be the explanation, clearly defined, that this human incarnation is the journey of your essence. So then, my dear, if that is understood, why is there fear?
It's a very good question.
Wonderful, my dear. It is because, my dear, forgetfulness is also intentional. In order to experience the human experience as the identity. For if each one of you continue to remember your essence as you once did when you were younger, before the identity was crafted, each one would experience the journey with caution. One would not engage with another, recognizing that fear and pain would be the result. This is why forgetfulness is intentional, my dear. It is not meant to be permanent. Is that clear, my dear?
It is. How does one move towards a sort of less fear-based mindset? Because a lot of people really struggle with that.
By what we mentioned earlier, my dear, remembering your own essence first. Recognize you are not alone on your journey. You are your highest essence as well. Each one of you possess intuition. Intuition equates to clear guidance by your own highest essence. And yet each one of you, multiple times throughout your experience, have recognized the intuition, but did not heed to it. You followed the conscious mind. You followed the desire of the human identity. And more often than not, there was regret. As you were aware there was another choice you intuitively sensed and ignored. This is what is known into your realm, but not accurately, as free will. You do possess the choice to listen to the intuition or to follow the thought process of the mind. The same thought created of human identity and the conditioning of the mind. When one listens carefully to the intuition and trusts, one begins to remember and recognize their essence. Each one is an essence and therefore possesses the ability to connect to all essence. Notice how many seek out assistance from others who have understood how to accurately connect to essences that have ceased to exist in the physical realm. And they are not aware that they too possess the same exact ability. Notice even this form of communication, my dear. The purest form of communication humanity has ever experienced. Notice how it is widely feared in your realm. This is because the institutions, the religious doctrines, the governmental agencies recognized it once as the most powerful form of communication and realized in order to gain control of the masses, silencing this form of communication was pertinent. So fear of it has been passed through generation to generation. And yet those who fear have never attempted this form of communication. And the irony, my dear, is that each one in physical form experiences the same level of altered consciousness each night before they enter the sleep state. And nobody recognizes it. Is that clear, my dear?
It is very interesting. And I agree with that. I think a lot of people do enter the state without realizing they're actually in it.
Multiple times throughout the day, my dear.
How does, I guess a lot of people who are at the start of their journey kind of going into this, they would associate it as other things. But what's your advice to people to be able to step into their own essence and to start to understand what that is?
It is an altered state of consciousness, my dear. It is shifting from your conscious mind to the awareness portion of the mind. This occurs throughout your day when one senses a loss of time. When one is traveling on a familiar road to their home and they reach the destination and are unaware how they even reached it, once more loss of time. When one rests the mind, each one of these moments, my dear, they are shifting into awareness. This is the switch, the change into deeper consciousness. It is in this state that effortlessly they are connecting to essence. It occurs multiple times, and yet no one focuses on it. It is not an ability to be learned, for it is always occurring, my dear. It is merely moments throughout your day. Your conscious mind has settled enough that you have entered that field of consciousness. It is recognizing the truth. It is pausing when those moments arise and the conscious mind is softened. It is pausing a little longer, recognizing the sensations on the human form, recognizing the impressions into the mind, listening in the silence, focusing on the natural rhythm of the breath. This is when one is receiving clarity through intuition. It begins subtle and yet offers profound results. And the more one continues, the more one develops through a remembrance of essence. Is that clear, my dear?
It is. I guess I wanted to ask, how does one start to work on quietening of the conscious mind? Because that's so difficult for us down here.
By softening the human identity first, my dear. Recognize the conscious mind is active, focusing on all elements, moments, experiences, worries, fears that the human identity has created along the journey. When one recognizes that this is not the true identity as mentioned earlier, that which held much weight softens. Those worries lessen. The importance of material gains are not as powerful as they once were. Even how they engage in relationships, first recognizing there is no relationship born of your realm, my dear. It is a contractual covenant between essence to essence, merely playing out in your reality through the roles each one is providing within that relationship. When one is able to recognize this as the truth, the dynamics alter greatly in your perception. This is how one softens the human identity. When that softening occurs, my dear, so too does the conscious mind soften and settle. The rest is natural. There is no progression. It is instant. For your essence is instant, always connected. Is that clear, my dear?
It is. Thank you. Very interesting. Well, it's very lovely to have you on this monthly news segment. It's very exciting. What message would you like to leave us on today?
Remember, my dear ones, we are all interconnected as essence, as consciousness. There is no difference, no separation. And as each of you who are essence experiencing a human experience, why is there so much focus on separation and being different from the ones before you? Judgment, comparison, racism. If you are of love and you are in essence, and we are all interconnected through that shared love. It is often simpler to offer respect and love to each in your realm, rather than view them as different and judge them. That is merely the human identity. For even in that judgment, in the comparison, that is based on your personal experiences of your journey and the conditioning of your mind. Once more, this does not reflect your essence. And it is time to begin to reflect your essence. Allow your intentions and your words to be the love of your essence. Accept each as another essence on their specific physical journey, and cease with the comparisons, the judgments. This is how one begins to remember their essence. It truly has been an honor, my dear.
It has. Thank you so much. I guess I'll see you in the same time, same place next month.
And I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you.